It is really challenging to restore spinal vitality when we are rushing through our days, when we are tense, we don't find time to relax and to breathe. I've learned this the hard way, and there isn't a day now that I don't lay flat on the floor here, or even better on my roller, for at least 2 to 3 minutes a day. So why I particularly like the roller is because it helps to relax the spine, the spinal muscles. It relaxes the hips and the shoulders, opens up across the chest, and it helps to release the fascia, the connective tissue. So just before I demonstrate what I do on my roller, a little bit on the breath. So like I said before, when we are rushed, we tend to breathe higher up into the body, into the chest, the shoulders, the neck, and it all creates a lot of tension, and sometimes it can become even chronic tension. Learning to breathe lower down into the body is really healing for the spine, because your primary breathing muscle, being the diaphragm, actually has attachments to the lower back, so it will help to release all the way down into that area. And besides diaphragm, you want to explore the breath into the intercostal muscles, so muscles in between the ribs, and into the abdominal muscles as well. As I think it's always nice to have a picture of how the muscles move, contract, how they change shape. I've prepared 2 balls here. So when the which sits right underneath the heart and lungs, is in a relaxed state, it's quite cupped, it's a dome shaped, and the ribs are relaxed. Now, as we breathe in, we want to work on allowing the belly to billow outwards. So if you had your hand on the belly, you would allow the belly to reach up into your hands. And at that point, the diaphragm will change the shape to become a bit flatter, and it will slightly move downwards to provide space for the lungs to fully open out and for air to enter. And as you exhale, the belly will move away from the hand on the belly, and diaphragm will go into a relaxed phase again, where it will become a bit more cupped, and it will help lungs to squeeze every little bit of stale air out. So without much ado, let's get onto this roller. So getting onto the roller safely, you want to place your bottom at one end, feet in a parallel position, and use the hands to roll yourself down. Now, as I'm going down, I'm allowing my pubic bone to lift up, so I am gently releasing myself down. The head is at the other end. Again, adjust yourself there, and just become aware of the left and the right side. Are you in the center? And as I'm very, very tight in my middle and upper back, if I don't use head support, my head will start to kind of go into a shape where my chin is lifting, my neck is tensing. So I will use a head support. It's just a rolled up blanket. And this straight away not only relaxes my neck, but it relaxes the front of my rib cage, which is really great, because you don't want to be out here you want to have the ribs relaxed. Now the next thing is the pelvis. So feel your pelvis with your hands, and just a little bit further down, notice if you're gripping at the front of the hips, and if you're not sure what the grip is, then roll the pelvis under and feel those muscles, they're really tight. And then roll the pelvis the other way, so forward, which will increase the arch under the lumbar spine. Obviously, if that doesn't feel uncomfortable, don't go there, don't go as fully. Perhaps again rolling back and rolling forward until you find a place where your hips are, you're not gripping at the front of the hips and the hip bones are nice and parallel with the floor. I also like to wiggle myself out a little bit, like I want to move my ribs away from my hips and then my head away from the neck, just to create a bit of extra length through this area here. The shoulders, now if the hands are on the floor and arms just relaxed, I find I'm not really opening through the chest enough. The front of my shoulders are all squashed. So I use the blocks, which I have here. You can use pillows or towels. And I like to place my palms upwards. And now what this gives me is a feeling of these pockets opening up at the front of the shoulders. My shoulders have rolled back a little bit more, and chest just feels way more expanded and open. And once you settle yourself in position, relax your fingers, explore that breath. So first of all, notice where you're breathing into. Are you breathing high up into the neck? And then mindfully start to breathe into that belly area. So allow the belly to rise upwards, breathe a breath in. And then exhale, allowing the belly to relax downwards. So as you're breathing in, remember that diaphragm lowers down. And then as you're breathing out, it lifts up and everything relaxes. Another thing you'd like to explore is the length of your inhalation and your exhalation, and also the length of the stillness of the pause in between the breath in and breath out. I particularly like that to lengthen my pause these days, as it's the moment where one is required not to do anything, just to be. I like to close your eyes, play some relaxing tunes, and just hear what your body needs. Communicate with your body, with your spine. And after you've been on that rollout or on the floor for several minutes, if that's all you can afford, come up safely. If you are on the roller, I find the best way is to, if the neck is a bit stiff, use the head to support, to lift the head up, and then use the hands on the floor to roll yourself up. And then feel the length of that spine. If you are previously in a stooped position, just lengthen the back, feel the heads floating away. Maybe take another breath in right in between the shoulder blades, feel the widening of your ribs as the intercostals open up. And enjoy your practice.